people talk about different ways of writing. Like if you were writing Dear Diary, I love Jerry or something, that's a lot different than if you were writing an academic paper. I believe that the dinosaurs extinction primarily blah blah blah. So the sound is different, right? When you're laughing with your friends, hey, did you guys see that cool movie? I loved it. Why does everyone hate it? Is different than when you're talking to a professor. Dr. Smith, could I have a moment of your time? Do you see, I just gave 4 different examples of the ways you already talk. I guarantee you're changing your registers based on who you're with. And if you're not, you should be. Your ability to hone and change registers based on your audience, how you speak and how you write based on your audience, is a huge indicator of intelligence and success. So focusing on changing the way you're presenting information is important for the real world. It's not in any way false or inauthentic. It's necessary and appropriate. So when I talk really informally, which I totally do in all these videos, it's called colloquial language. Colloquial language is what you're probably most comfortable with. It's the way you hang out with friends and family. I'm totally cool with colloquial language in text messages. I'm totally cool with it if you're writing on the discussion boards, if you're emailing me. I don't expect you to always have to be on, right? Other professors and instructors will. So I need you to try to just default to very professional with other people, but with me, you can chill out. When you turn in a paper in this class, a formatted paper in D2L, I expect it to be as formal as possible in its tone, in the language you're using in it. Now, this might be for most of you, some of you, all of you, the first time you're like, whoa, what does she mean by that? Like, I have to write formally, right? Think of yourself as a newscaster. Think of how they talk and what they say. You would not see a newscaster say on the news, bunch of people, got in a car accident, it totally sucked. You won't hear a newscaster say that. If you did, that would be super weird and not normal. So you want to think of yourself as a very, very respectful person, newscaster, when you're writing, when you're turning in papers for this class. That tone should permeate your work. That is not colloquial, that's professional. The difference between colloquial and professional is a change of registers, and there's not just 2, there's hundreds of registers. When we talk about academic writing and the professional tone it takes on, that even looks different throughout the world. So like the Middle East countries, for instance, they think storytelling is the best way to present academic arguments. And so the Americans get down to business. They're like, in 1492, Columbus' initial sail was thought to be funded by Spain. However, there were some outstanding interest from the French colony, blah, blah, blah. So like Americans, we just go fact, 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 fact. Other cultures might say opinion, storytelling. None is wrong and right. None are. But here's what you're going to do in this class. You're going to learn the American style of doing things because that's what I'm teaching. But know that one does not take precedent over others. So writing is magic, right? We talked about that in the last video. It can really sway an audience. Whether you're writing in your diary or a personal narrative or literature, if you think of great works or maybe something you had to read in high school or something that moved you, when you think of those poems that grabbed a hold of you, maybe something by John Updike, you remember that, oh my goodness, writing can really sway an audience. So what we're going to do in this class is you're going to practice doing these different forms of writing, maybe some personal narrative, and then we're going to be building up a little bit more professional writing in preparation for 102, where you gotta throw down some professional writing in 102. It's like pretty much academic writing is all you do. So here are some tips as we go through this semester. Do the readings. I know I assign a bit of reading. Do them. You're not going to get better at writing without doing a lot of reading. Email me whenever you have questions. I reserve the right to shift assignments, right? I do what I want. You are responsible for watching videos and reading everything in the checklist, which I put in order. You don't have to click around trying to find things in my class. It's in order, what you're supposed to do and when you're supposed to do it. So if I shift something, which I can, you gotta state a date with everything that's going on. So we do easier stuff in the beginning with like a lot smaller points, and then the points get bigger at the end. If you fall behind, it's really hard to catch up. So keep falling behind to the minimum as much as you can. The coolest thing about what I do is I really grade by progress. When it all boils down to the end of the semester, I look at where you started and where you ended, and if you move the needle, I judge that, because nobody should be judged by where they're at, but where they came from and where they're at. That's what I believe. So this first week is me getting to know you and getting to know your ability. So really just dive in and show me where you're at, what you got. Don't ever be embarrassed by where you're at, because the more I know, the more I can push you to where you need to go. And I'll meet you where you're at. I won't have high expectations out of the chute. Please save your work. Like every semester I have at least one student that's like, I've lost everything. My computer, someone stole it, it broke, it got drowned in an accident. I don't know. Something happens to computers and it's like the end of, all their stored assignments, which is bad. So save everything in a thumb drive and on your computer. Think about storing it on the college's free storage space. You should have 2 books in this class. You should have this guy right here, the Norton's Field Guide to Writing, and then your Little Seagull Handbook, this guy. We're going to be using both of these books pretty extensively going forward. So I'm super excited to teach you this semester. I'm super excited about writing. I'm eager to answer questions that you have and work through any barriers you're working through. And let me know if you're having trouble accessing any information as we go forward. All right, see you on the next videos.